Sit back and enjoy an hour of fascinating facts you didn't know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. This is the ghost bird, also known as Uruda or Patu, belonging to the genus Nyctibius. It lives from southeastern Mexico to northern Argentina. During the day, it remains motionless on dry trunks, camouflaging itself to avoid predators. It is a nocturnal species that hunts insects from high areas. It does not build a nest, but rather lays a single egg directly on a branch. The care of the egg is alternated between the male and female. Its mimicry makes it almost invisible in its environment. Many locks integrated into suitcases do not block the closure, only the pullers. This allows them to be opened by applying pressure with a pen between the teeth of the zipper. The closure separates without breaking and can be closed again as if nothing had happened. This method does not damage the lock or leave visible evidence. It does not work on all models, but it does on many with standard zippers. It is a known vulnerability in luggage security. This phenomenon is called a fluidized bed and occurs when air is pumped from below through a bed of sand. The particles are suspended and the mixture behaves like a fluid. Objects can sink or float depending on their density. It is a principle used in chemical and industrial engineering. The sand loses its rigidity while the air circulates. Crinoids, also called feather stars or sea lilies, are invertebrate animals of the phylum Echinoderms. Although they look like marine plants due to their branched shape, they have radial symmetry and an animal structure. Many species live attached to the seabed by a peduncle. Others, such as the camacholids, can move slowly to seek shelter or relocate. This ability allows them to adapt to changes in the environment. Their delicate and feathery appearance has fascinated scientists and divers for generations. Hairless guinea pigs, also known as skinny pigs, are the result of genetic experiments carried out in laboratories. They emerged in Canada in 1978 during dermatological studies. These guinea pigs have very little hair, usually only on their snout, paws, and sometimes on their back. Due to their lack of fur, they are more sensitive to the cold and require special care to stay warm. In August of 2005, a band of thieves carried out one of the largest robberies in history by digging a tunnel to access the central bank of Fortaleza in Brazil. These criminals managed to steal approximately $70 million in cash. Although several members of the gang were captured, a large part of the money was never recovered. This spectacular robbery highlighted the vulnerability of banking institutions, showing that even the most secure systems can be vulnerable to ingenious criminal tactics. The Cymothoa exigua, known as the tongue eater, is an isopod parasite that enters a fish's mouth through the gills. The female attaches itself to the fish's tongue, sucking blood until the tongue atrophies and falls off. The parasite then becomes a functional tongue, acting as a substitute. Surprisingly, it does not cause serious harm to the fish. This phenomenon has fascinated the scientific community and shows the incredible adaptation of species to their environment. See what happens if an untrained person gets into a fighter jet. High-speed aircraft such as fighter jets can apply very high G-forces, greater than 3 G-force units, which can cause dizziness and lack of oxygen in untrained people. The pilots of these planes usually go through rigorous training to withstand these forces. In the 1920s, many women were fined for wearing short skirts. The modesty laws of the time were quite strict, and women who did not comply with these rules could face fines and other penalties. Marie Curie's research documents are still extremely radioactive due to her constant exposure to radioactive elements such as polonium and radium. Her laboratory and belongings, including her laboratory notebooks, remain dangerous to handle and are expected to remain so for approximately 1,500 more years. The documents are stored in lead boxes at the National Library of France, and protective equipment is required to handle them. When one of the conjoined twins dies, the impact can vary depending on how they are joined and on the dependence on shared organs. If vital organs are shared, the death of one could result in the death of the other. If one has independent vital organs, they could survive. Although the situation is extremely complex and varies depending on the specific case. Each sunflower head can contain between 500 and 2,000 seeds, depending on the variety of the sunflower and the growing conditions. Harvesting is generally done when the sunflower heads are mature and the seeds have reached their maximum size. The collection process can vary from manual methods to the use of agricultural machinery. The art installation called Real Time at Amsterdam Airport was created by the Dutch artist Martin Bass. The installation shows a looped video of Bass drawing and erasing each minute of the clock over a period of 12 hours. The installation was originally created for the Milan Design Week in 2009 and was then installed at Amsterdam Airport in 2017. The coconut crab is the heaviest terrestrial crab that exists. It can weigh up to 4 kilos and have a leg span of approximately 1 to 2 meters. Males are usually larger than females. This impressive crustacean lives on islands in the Indian and Pacific Oceans. Its name comes from its ability to climb coconut trees and crack coconuts with its powerful claws. Cats process sensory stimuli differently from humans. Their vision, hearing, and smell are sharper, which allows them to detect details imperceptible to us. It is common to see them engrossed for long periods, observing floating particles or subtle movements. This behavior does not indicate distraction, but focused attention. They may seem immobile, but they are completely alert. Their way of perceiving the environment is more refined and silent. That is why what seems like nothing to us can be fascinating to them. This pyramid was built with more than 800 rolls of toilet paper. A family of 4 consumes an average of 4 rolls per week. That is equivalent to 192 rolls per year. According to ecological estimates, a tree produces around 810 rolls. Therefore, in 4 years, a family consumes almost 1 tree in toilet paper. This is the Amur River, filmed in Hehe, China, during the arrival of spring. Controlled detonations are carried out to break up the accumulated ice. This prevents water from stagnating behind the frozen blocks. If it is not released, it can cause floods on the banks. The procedure allows the river to flow normally. This is the active denial system, a non-lethal weapon developed by the United States military. It works by emitting millimeter waves that superficially penetrate the skin. These waves instantly heat the water and fat in the outer layer. The effect causes an intense sensation of heat without causing permanent damage. That is why it is known as a heat ray. Although its principle is similar to that of microwaves, it operates at higher frequencies. It is mainly used for crowd control. The Rubik's Cube was invented in the year 1974 by Erno Rubik, a professor of architecture in Budapest. He originally called it the Magic Cube and designed it as a teaching tool to teach spatial concepts. It was patented in 1975 and marketed internationally since 1980. Its structure allows for more than 43 trillion possible combinations. Solving it requires strategy, memory, and practice. There are methods that allow for very fast times. The current world record is 3.13 seconds, achieved by Max Park in the year 2023. The largest elevator in the world is located in the Geo World Convention Center in Mumbai, India. It was built by the Finnish company Cone and has an area of 25.78 square meters. It can transport up to 235 people at the same time. It is designed for large events such as conferences and weddings. Its capacity allows users to carry luggage without difficulty. The elevator supports up to 16 tons of weight. Scientists from Hanyang University in Seoul developed swarms of magnetic microrobots that mimic the behavior of ants. Each robot measures less than 1 millimeter and is composed of epoxy with neodymium, iron, and boron particles. By applying rotating magnetic fields, they move in a coordinated manner and can lift objects much heavier than themselves. They also overcome obstacles and clean pipes with precision. Their future use in medicine to clean clogged arteries is being investigated. Although they are still in the experimental phase, they show great potential. The octopus is a marine animal known for its intelligence and surprising abilities. It has been documented that it can unscrew the lid of a jar from the inside, demonstrating dexterity and problem-solving. Studies have confirmed that it has both short and long-term memory. It can also use tools like shells or coconuts to protect itself. In environments without stimuli, it shows signs of boredom. These behaviors indicate a high cognitive capacity. The shovel-nosed lizard uses an ingenious method to prevent its limbs from burning with the heat of the sand. When it rests, it alternately lifts its opposite legs to keep them cool. Anamorphism is a visual technique based on geometric and mathematical principles. It consists of deforming an image so that it is only revealed correctly from a specific point of view. This method has been used since the Renaissance in painting and architecture. It also appears in contemporary art and advertising. Its effect depends on the position of the observer. The possibility of regenerating exotic animals like in Jurassic Park is speculative from a scientific and ethical point of view. The cloning of extinct species faces challenges due to the degradation of ancient DNA and genetic complexity. Although technology is advancing, recreating species like dinosaurs remains unlikely in the short term. However, research in biotechnology could eventually advance in the regeneration and cloning of extinct species. This is the Maraca, an underwater suite at the Conrad Maldives Rangali Island Hotel. It was inaugurated in 2018 as the first underwater hotel residence. It has two levels, one above the water and another submerged 5 meters deep. The underwater bedroom offers panoramic views of the ocean. A night can cost up to $50,000, depending on the season. The price includes a private chef, butler, and exclusive transfers. The phenomenon of tickling occurs because our brain anticipates and adjusts the sensation of touch on our body. When we touch ourselves, the brain predicts the movement and decreases the sensory response. However, when another person touches us, there is no such anticipation, which causes a more intense response and a sensation of tickling. This difference is related to the way the brain processes movement and contact signals, increasing sensitivity to the unexpected. This is an ultra-sharp knife, possibly a kotetsu model from the Lysowash line manufactured by Takayuki Shibata in Japan. These knives are known for their extreme sharpness and thin profile. They are made with high-quality steel. The Canadian photographer Nathaniel Starzinski recorded an impressive video of an aurora borealis from a plane. Upon learning that there would be a magnetic storm, he carefully prepared to capture the aurora. He reserved a north-facing window seat in the back of the plane, placed a tripod, and pressed the camera lens against the glass to avoid reflections. He used a sweater around the camera. The turkey race has been held every December 25th in Segovia, Spain, since the year 1935. The cyclists compete on bicycles without a chain, which prevents them from pedaling during the race. The route includes a descent followed by a cobble descent, where they must maintain their balance without touching the ground. Julio Martin is one of the most prominent runners of this tradition. The test requires precision, technique, and control of momentum. The Earth has a diameter of approximately 12,742 kilometers, while the Sun has a diameter of approximately 1,300,000 kilometers. This means that the diameter of the Sun is approximately 109 times larger than that of the Earth. This fact puts the immensity of the Sun in perspective compared to our planet. Cows generate methane through enteric fermentation, a natural digestive process. This gas is a powerful contributor to the greenhouse effect. Over a 20-year horizon, methane has a climate impact about 80 times greater than carbon dioxide. In 100 years, its effect is about 28 times greater. Therefore, although it is emitted in a smaller amount, its influence is significant. Between 1913 and 1920, in the United States, it was legal to send children by mail. The parcel service, which began in 1913, offered affordable prices, but presented a problem. The definition of a package was not clear, which led some people to interpret that they could send their children. The only restriction was that the package should not weigh more than 23 kilos. For 7 years, at least 200 children were sent by mail until the United States Congress banned it, calling it cruel and inhumane. In 1989, Chamoy Thipiaso received the longest sentence recorded in history, 141,078 years in prison in Thailand, due to her participation in a pyramid scheme that defrauded more than 16,000 people. However, Thai laws limit the maximum sentence for fraud to 20 years. As a result, her sentence was reduced and she was finally released in 1993 after serving only 8 years in prison. A mammotus cloud was recorded in Indianapolis, United States, in May of the year 2025 after the passage of a tornado. This type of cloud forms at the base of cumulonimbus clouds and has a wavy or hanging bag-like appearance. Although they look menacing, they do not pose a direct danger. Their presence indicates an unstable atmosphere, common after severe storms. Mammotus clouds are rare and visually striking. Australia has the highest mammal extinction rate in the world, with more than 30 species disappeared since European settlement in 1788. According to current classifications, there are 1,811 threatened plant and animal species in Australia, including 116 critically endangered species, 410 endangered, and 865 vulnerable. Filmed in Massachusetts Bay, this video shows scallops swimming. Scallops, or pectinids, are bivalve mollusks that normally rest on the seabed. To move, they open and close their shells quickly, expelling water from the sides. This mechanism allows them to propel themselves and escape from predators. Although they seem immobile, they have the capacity for active movement. She is Leafia Ingalls, and she won a Guinness record for being the woman who lifts and throws 10 people the fastest in just 39.50 seconds. This impressive achievement demonstrates her incredible strength and athletic abilities. Ferrofluid is a mixture of ferromagnetic particles suspended in a liquid carrier. This material responds to magnetic fields, creating dynamic and visual shapes. It has been used in kinetic art and interactive design for its fluid and reactive behavior. In 2012, a group of scientists from the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry at Arizona State University conducted an experiment to cut a drop of water. They used a superhydrophobic knife made of polyethylene, zinc, and copper treated with silver nitrate and a superhydrophobic solution to prevent the water drop from being absorbed. They placed it on a Teflon surface. Not all dogs are suitable for herding, as this task requires specific skills. It requires obedience, agility, concentration, and sensitivity to the movement of livestock. Breeds like the Border Collie have been selected for generations for their intelligence and work capacity. These dogs show a strong genetic predisposition to guide animals. Without adequate training, other breeds do not manage to perform this function effectively. Herding requires instinct and discipline. That is why only certain breeds can dedicate themselves to this work successfully. German Exotics has a jumping spider as a pet. They are quite docile and patient and, although they do have fangs, they rarely bite things bigger than themselves. These spiders require specific care, such as a suitable terrarium and a diet of insects. Watch how it gives it water. This ornamental bird is designed to balance on its beak thanks to its center of gravity. The center of gravity is the point where all the forces of gravity act on a body. In this case, the weight of the wings compensates for that of the body, allowing for balance. It is not necessary for both to weigh the same, but for them to be distributed strategically. Maika Takashima, also known as Takemika, is a 90-year-old Japanese fitness instructor. She started exercising at 65 with the intention of losing weight and managed to lose 15 kilograms in 5 years. She had her first personal trainer at 79 and became an instructor at 87. Her daily routine includes walking 4 kilometers and running 3 kilometers. Recorded from the International Space Station, this video shows what an astronaut sees during a spacewalk. The International Space Station orbits the Earth every 92 minutes at an altitude of more than 400 kilometers. The project is a collaboration between 5 space agencies. The walks allow for the observation of the Earth's curvature and atmospheric phenomena. I present to you the dirtiest man in the world. Amu Haji, considered the dirtiest man in the whole world because he did not bathe for more than 60 years. He lived isolated in a village in Iran and firmly believed that bathing could make him sick. His favorite food was the rotten meat of dead animals, especially porcupines. Every day, he drank 5 liters of water that he extracted from rusty pipes and slept in a dirt hole. His pipe was not filled with tobacco, but with animal feces, and although many people tried to help him, he liked his life. He died at 94 years old. This is the Lysowash Leibao 360, a contactless automatic washing system developed by the Chinese company Hangzhou Leisu Cleaning Equipment. It uses rotating arms and high-pressure water to clean vehicles without touching them, and the process is controlled by smart sensors that detect the size of the car. This technology allows for efficient and safe cleaning without manual intervention. The farthest man-made object from Earth is the Voyager 1 probe, launched in 1977. It has traveled beyond the solar system and is currently more than 24 billion kilometers away from us. Voyager 1 carries a golden record with messages from Earth, like a bottle in space, sending an interstellar greeting, a solitary explorer in the vast cosmos. The so-called Death Cave is located in the San Carlos region, near the Toro Amarillo River in Costa Rica. Inside, carbon dioxide accumulates, a gas that is denser than air. This gas displaces oxygen and causes torches to go out as they approach the bottom. Any animal or person who enters without protection can die from suffocation. The phenomenon is linked to underground geological activity. This doll is a complex 18th century computer which was made with about 6,000 pieces. Its name is the Writer, and it was created by Pierre Jacquet-Dras. It is a kind of programmable automatic doll capable of writing words with a pen. It was one of the most complex mechanisms that Pierre created throughout his life. Magpies are highly intelligent birds belonging to the corvid family. They are often seen spreading their wings under the sun in a motionless position. This behavior is not a simulation of death, as is sometimes believed. In reality, it is a practice known as sunbathing or heliotherapy. The objective is to eliminate parasites such as mites and lice from their feathers. This behavior also helps maintain the health of the plumage. The oxidation process in fruits that makes them turn dark has a protective purpose. Oxidation helps slow the growth of bacteria and fungi in fruits by creating a barrier that hinders the development of these microorganisms. Mountain biking is a very popular activity in Canada, with routes that cross forests, mountains, and national parks. Canada offers ideal conditions for this extreme sport thanks to its varied terrain and temperate climate in summer. It is a discipline that attracts both professionals and amateurs, with international events like Crinkworks in Whistler. The provinces of British Columbia, Alberta, and Quebec stand out for their well-maintained trails and spectacular landscapes. An egg tooth is a hard protuberance on the snout of some birds and reptiles. These help the babies escape from the egg when it is time to hatch. Contrary to what its name says, it is not a tooth but a protuberance of hardened skin. It disappears shortly after birth. Rolex, founded in 1905 by Hans Wilsdorf, was the first company to create a waterproof wristwatch called the Oyster in 1926. To prove its reliability, in 1927, Rolex sponsored a swimmer named Mercedes Gleitze in her attempt to cross the English Channel. She swam for more than 10 hours with the watch on her wrist, and, when she reached dry land, the watch was still working perfectly. This event was one of the first examples of test marketing in history, which helped establish Rolex as a brand of precision and resistance. The snail that lays pink eggs belongs to the genus Pomatia, known as the apple snail. It is native to South America, especially the Plata Basin. Some species such as Pomatia canaliculata and Pomatia maculata are among the largest freshwater snails. They deposit their eggs out of the water in bright pink clusters. This color serves as a visual warning to predators. Its presence has expanded to other regions, where it can become an invasive species. In just one day, a hummingbird can visit up to 1,000 flowers. The pygmy marmoset is the smallest primate in the world, with a size ranging between 11 and 15 centimeters and a weight of 100 to 141 grams. These tiny creatures are found in the tropical lowlands of the western Amazon forests. The Huangzhuan Road interchange is located in Chongqing, China, and is known for its structural complexity. It has 5 levels of circulation that connect 3 highways and 1 avenue. It has 20 ramps that allow you to take up to 8 different directions. Its design responds to the mountainous topography of the region. It is one of the most elaborate interchanges in the country. Some squid have the ability to change color thanks to cells called chromatophores. These expand or contract under the control of the nervous system, allowing for variations in tone. This mechanism serves to camouflage or communicate. Halima Cisse from the Republic of Mali gave birth to 9 babies, 5 girls and 4 boys, in a single birth on May 4, 2021 in Casablanca, Morocco. This event was recorded in the Guinness Book of Records as the largest number of children born in a single birth that survived. The babies were born prematurely at 30 weeks of pregnancy and were transferred to incubators for intensive care. In Japan, it is common for manhole covers to be hand-painted and become true works of art. Each city has its own unique designs that often represent cultural, historical, or local aspects. These covers are not only functional, but also add a touch of color and creativity to the streets. This is the Turkish artist Garip I recreating Van Gogh's The Starry Night with the Ebru technique. Ebru, also called marbled paper, originated in Turkey during the Ottoman Empire. It consists of applying pigments on thick water and then transferring the design to paper. The search for extraterrestrial life is an exciting challenge. Exploring the cosmos is like looking for a needle in a haystack. Vast distances and technological limitations complicate our investigations. However, each discovery brings us closer, from exoplanets to mysterious signals from space. Maybe soon we will have the answer, making history alongside extraterrestrials. Many insects have the ability to mimic their surroundings to avoid being detected by predators or to stalk their prey. Common examples include moths that resemble leaves and stick insects that camouflage themselves as branches. This is the Macclesfield Canal, located in Cheshire, England. During the winter, a layer of ice forms on its surface. When a boat passes, the ice breaks in a visually mesmerizing way. The Osmia bicolora is a species of solitary bee that uses the petals of flowers to build its nests, where its larvae will grow. These bees are known for their ability to create durable and human structures with natural materials. This man created a fun car using 2 barrels as wheels. You can see that he has found a lot of fun with his creation. This is an inflated pufferfish, a defensive response to threats. Pufferfish expand by sucking in water or air, depending on the environment. By increasing their size, they become difficult for their predators to swallow. This mechanism makes them seem bigger and more dangerous. In addition, Many have tetrodotoxin, a powerful neurotoxin. The Volkswagen Beetle was the first car to transit Antarctica in 1963. This vehicle, named Red Terror due to its bright red color on the snow, was donated by Volkswagen Germany to a base of scientists to demonstrate its ability to withstand extreme climates. The Beetle withstood temperatures of up to minus 50 degrees Celsius and winds of more than 150 kilometers per hour. Owls adopt a special posture to camouflage themselves in trees. They contract their muscles and plumage, lengthening and thinning their body to look more like a tree branch, which helps them go unnoticed among the foliage. In the original Superman comic, published in 1938, the character could not fly, he could only jump very high buildings. It was not until the 1940s that the animators of the Superman animated series decided that it would be more impressive and convenient for the narrative if he could fly. This ability became an iconic feature of the character from then on. The inverted waterfall is a natural phenomenon found near Talca in the Mall region, Chile. This spectacle occurs when strong wind currents cause the water of the Mall River to change its direction and flow upwards instead of falling like a traditional waterfall. It is a true spectacle of nature that defies gravity. The hairy panic grass, whose scientific name is Panicum effusum, is a grass native to Australia present in all its continental states and also in New Guinea. In drought conditions, this plant can detach from the ground and roll with the wind like a tumbleweed, which facilitates the dispersion of its seeds. Excessive growth usually occurs after rainy summers that favor its spread. Although it does not represent a health risk, it can cause discomfort in residential areas due to the amount of accumulated plant material. This is the Otzarrita beech forest, located in the Gorbea Natural Park in the Basque Country, Spain. It is known for its peculiar-shaped beeches with branches that grow vertically. This unusual pattern gives it a mysterious and enchanted look. On foggy days, the forest acquires an even more singular atmosphere. In Thailand, bamboo is traditionally used to make handmade traps. These can include trenches dug near water and hollow tubes connected to each other. The bait is placed strategically to attract prey. They are often covered with grass to prevent animals or people from interfering. This type of trap takes advantage of local materials and simple techniques. The practice reflects traditional hunting knowledge in regions of Southeast Asia. This is the E-Highway, an electric highway for trucks located south of Frankfurt, Germany. It has a length of 10 kilometers and is part of the ELISA project. It was designed by the German company Siemens. The hybrid trucks used were manufactured by the Swedish company Scania. The system allows vehicles to connect to overhead power lines using pantographs. The Puquios of Canalock are located in Nazca, Peru, and were developed by the Nazca culture. They are aqueduct systems designed to recover underground water in desert areas. Their construction allowed for agricultural and human supply in an arid environment. These structures show an advanced pre-Hispanic hydraulic knowledge. Buddhist monks of the Judo order perform sand mandalas as a spiritual practice. These mandalas represent the microcosm and the macrocosm according to Buddhist cosmology. They are made with colored powder, usually dyed sand, applied with great precision. The process requires concentration and discipline and can last for several days. At the end, the mandala is destroyed as a symbol of impermanence. The terracotta army was buried near the mausoleum of Emperor Qin Shi Huang in Xi'an, China. It is composed of more than 8,000 life-sized figures of soldiers, horses, and chariots. They were created around the year 210 before Christ with baked clay, known as terracotta. Each figure varies according to its military rank and position. Although they seem unique, studies reveal that they are based on about 10 basic facial forms. The set shows an advanced artistic and technical level. It is one of the most important archaeological findings in China. A sundog is an optical phenomenon caused by the refraction of sunlight in ice crystals suspended in the atmosphere. They usually appear as luminous spots on both sides of the sun, forming part of a sun halo. The ideal conditions include cold skies and the presence of cirrus clouds. This phenomenon is not dangerous and is completely natural. This is the Golden Bridge, located in the hills of Ba Na, near Da Nang, Vietnam. It was inaugurated in the year 2018 and designed by the Vietnamese firm Landscape Architecture. Its structure appears to be supported by two enormous stone hands. However, these hands are decorative and do not support the weight of the bridge. The true support comes from hidden columns at the base. A bomora is a large and dangerous wave that forms when the swell passes over shallow underwater areas. This phenomenon is common on the coasts of Australia. When it encounters a sandbar or a rocky platform, the wave rises and becomes steeper. They are known for their strength and difficulty of prediction. The giant Asian honeybee lives in regions such as India and Southeast Asia. When a threat approaches, like a wasp, the worker bees execute a defensive wave. This collective movement consists of raising their abdomens in sequence, creating a visual effect on the honeycomb. The behavior is known as shimmering. It serves to intimidate without resorting to direct attack. Most electrical cables are coated with insulating materials such as PVC or polyethylene. This coating protects against short circuits and electric shocks. When there is an electrical overload, the heat can melt the insulator and expose the internal metal. Damage can also occur if lightning strikes the cable directly. There are viral videos of posts and statues vibrating in different cities, such as New Jersey and Vancouver. This phenomenon is due to mechanical resonance, when a structure vibrates at its natural frequency. Strong winds, above 80 miles per hour, can induce this effect. The vibration does not depend only on the wind speed, but also on the design and materials. Libya has the largest proven oil reserves in Africa, with about 48 billion barrels. This figure places it in 10th place worldwide. The reserves are concentrated mainly in the central and eastern region of the country. Its oil industry has been affected by internal conflicts. Despite this, it remains key in the global energy market. In 2018, the American cyclist Denise Mueller-Koronek achieved the world speed record on a bicycle. She reached 296 kilometers per hour on the Bonneville Salt Flats, Utah. She did it by pedaling behind a vehicle that reduced air resistance. This technique is known as slipstreaming. For comparison, a Formula One car can exceed 330 kilometers per hour. Her feat is unique in the history of cycling. This is the Jatiya Rock, located in Chatiyamangalam, India, where the largest bird sculpture in the world is located. It represents Jatayu, a vulture-shaped demigod from the Ramayana. According to legend, he tried to rescue Sita from the demon Ravana and died after losing his wings in combat. The sculpture is about 60 meters long and was designed by Rajiv Anchal. Pink Beach on the island of Bideli, Italy, and Harbor Island in the Bahamas are known for their pink-tone sand. This color comes from a mixture of marine fragments. In Bideli, the tone is due to remains of shells, granite, and microorganisms. On Harbor Island, the color arises from the erosion of foraminifera like Homotrema rubrum. These red marine organisms dye to sand as they disintegrate. Bubbles in tires are visible defects that indicate internal damage to the tire. They form when air from the chamber leaks into the outer casing. This occurs due to strong impacts, extreme wear, or manufacturing failures. Filmed in Ecotec, Mexico, this is the Mesoamerican ballgame. It originated in Mesoamerica at least 1,600 years before Christ. The ball was made of solid rubber and was hit with the hip, knees, or elbows. The players wore leather, wood, or wicker protectors. The vertical hoop was a later addition in the Mayan version. The original rules are not entirely clear. Today, a modern version is practiced in Mexico called Olama. The game known as broken telephone consists of transmitting an oral message from person to person within a chain. As the message is passed, it is usually distorted by errors of hearing, memory, or interpretation. This dynamic is used as a playful and educational exercise. It illustrates how communication can be easily altered. The name varies depending on the country, but the principle is the same. This is a Japanese digital toilet known for its multiple automated functions. It includes buttons to activate bidet-type showers with different washing intensities. It also has a drying option using hot air. These devices allow you to adjust the temperature of the water and the seat. They are common in Japan and are valued for their hygiene and comfort. The rod of Asclepius is the traditional symbol of medicine, represented by a snake coiled around a staff. It is associated with the Greek god Asclepius, linked to healing. One theory suggests that the symbol could be inspired by the extraction of the guinea worm, slowly rolled on a stick. This procedure has been practiced in regions of Africa and Asia. Mount Vanning, located in Guizhou, China, is considered a sacred mountain in Buddhism. It is associated with the Maitreya Buddha and is a destination for spiritual pilgrimage. Its mountainous landscape is home to temples built in different historical periods. Its access requires passing through steep paths and stairways. The production of artificial food with wax is a handcrafted technique used in museums and educational showcases. The wax allows for the molding of detailed shapes and the application of colors that imitate real textures. Creating a lettuce with wax requires thin layers and precise modeling. The result can be surprisingly realistic. The magnetic ferrofluid clock called Ferrolic was created by the Dutch industrial designer Zelf Koolman. It uses ferrofluid controlled by electromagnetic fields to form numbers on a screen. This material reacts to magnetism, creating dynamic and changing shapes. This instrument is called Mega Marvin and was created by the company Morphbeats. It is used in horror and experimental music for its metallic and disturbing sounds. Its design includes a steel structure with welded springs. There is also a portable version called Micro Marvin. The sound has been described as a cowbell from hell for its intensity. This video shows the death of a cell, a process known as apoptosis. It is a form of programmed cell death, where the cell fragments in an orderly manner. This rafting is done on the Colorado River, within the Grand Canyon in Arizona, United States. The Zodiac-type boats are resistant and maneuverable inflatable boats. They are used to travel sections with rapids and scenic areas of the canyon. It is a popular activity among visitors to the national park. It requires safety measures and a professional guide. In April of 2021, thousands of white cockatoos, specifically of the Corella subspecies, invaded the suburb of Nura on the south coast of New South Wales, Australia. These birds caused significant damage to infrastructure such as power lines, roofs, and vehicles, and perched on lawns and lampposts. Despite the damage, Corellas are protected by environmental laws, which limits the actions that residents can take to control them. Woodpeckers can peck a trunk up to 20 times per second without damaging their brain, thanks to several special adaptations. These include a structure adapted to absorb the impact on their skull, tongue, neck muscles, beak, and bones. Their skull bones have a different composition and density than those of other species and a little fluid inside the skull that prevents the brain from moving during pecking. In addition, their tongue has an embedded bone that helps protect their eyes. Clive Palmer, an Australian millionaire, has announced plans to build a replica of the Titanic called Titanic II. The inaugural voyage is scheduled for June of 2027. The ship will recreate the original route of 1912, departing from Southampton and ending its journey in New York. The Titanic II will have 835 cabins, including 383 first-class rooms, 201 second-class, and 251 third-class, just as the original ship was. In the 16th and 17th centuries, Claude Mellon lived, a French painter and engraver who used a special technique called gravure en sol trait from which his masterpiece, The Face of Christ, created in 1649, emerged. Mellon made it with a single continuous line that begins at the tip of Christ's nose. To date, no one has managed to perfectly replicate his method. McDonald's adapts its menu to local tastes in different countries. In India, for example, McDonald's offers vegetarian burgers like the Mac Aloo Tikki. In Japan, it serves rice burgers and drinks like the McFlurry. This is what the world's largest semi-submersible ship looks like. It is called the Boca Vanguard. It is 275 meters long and its towers reach 79 meters above the water level. It is also capable of carrying weights of up to 110,000 tons. It was designed to move oil and gas installations in the sea, although it is also used to transport other ships at a maximum speed of about 26 kilometers per hour. It has a bridge, an area for lifeboats, and a lounge that can accommodate a crew of 40 people. The Straightie is recognized as the world's first 3D printed car. The printing process took 44 hours during the 2014 International Manufacturing Technology Show in Chicago. After printing, 49 additional parts were assembled in a period of 4 days during the event. The Straightie can reach a top speed of 60 kilometers per hour and is made mainly of carbon fiber reinforced plastic. Most of its components are 3D prints, except for the battery, engine, wiring, suspension, and wheels. On YouTube, it is estimated that there are between 3,900 and more than 5 billion videos. Approximately 500 hours of video are uploaded every minute, which is equivalent to 720,000 hours every day. This means that the amount of content on YouTube grows exponentially every day, reflecting the popularity and massive use of the platform worldwide. Dolphins do not drink seawater, as their organisms cannot process the high concentration of salt. Instead, they obtain the necessary hydration from the food they consume, mainly fish and squid. These animals have specialized kidneys that allow them to excrete excess salt, maintaining their water balance without the need to ingest water directly from the ocean. The naja, also known as the spectacled cobra, has 2 black spots on the back of the hood joined by a curved line that gives the impression of being a pair of glasses. The average size of these cobras is approximately 1 meter, although they rarely exceed 2 meters in length. The suracuckoo, also known as the silent rattlesnake, is the largest venomous snake in America. It can reach more than 3 meters in length and is found in various parts of Central and South America, including Panama, Costa Rica, Colombia, Brazil, and Venezuela. Obsidian is a natural volcanic glass formed by the rapid cooling of magmas rich in silicic acid. This abrupt cooling prevents the crystallization of minerals. Obsidian is distinguished by its conchoidal fracture and can be translucent or opaque. There are different varieties in brown, red, gold, or gray tones due to the presence of inclusions of iron oxides, gas bubbles, or clear spherulites. In addition, the surface of obsidian can change color depending on the way it is carved. The Great Wall of China has a total length of more than 21,000 kilometers, which makes it the longest architectural structure ever built. It was built over several centuries with the purpose of protecting the Chinese Empire from invasions by northern nomads. This is how blind people send messages and write on their phones. The option is called Braille input, and as you can see, there are 6 numbers on the screen. By combining different gestures and buttons, the letters of the alphabet are created. In a marine life research center, sea lions are trained to play video games. This training program is part of a study on the cognitive enrichment of marine mammals. The sea lions use their snout to move a cursor on the screen and complete tasks, such as catching the silhouette of a fish. Para-hawking is a variant of paragliding that is practiced in the company of a trained bird of prey. The birds are trained to guide the pilot towards the ascending air currents. This allows them to gain altitude and fly long distances effortlessly. Baser Soltani, a Canadian artist of Afghan origin, creates impressive figures by stacking pencils in specific ways. His beautiful pieces arise from the strategic organization of pencils on flat surfaces. In addition, he himself is in charge of taking the photographs of his creations and sharing them on his social networks. Meet Ryoyu Kobayashi, the Japanese skier who has jumped 291 meters in the air in a flight that has lasted 8 seconds. This happened on a ski jump that Red Bull set up in Iceland specifically for this jump, which is already a record, but which the International Ski Federation refuses to recognize, since they argue that it is not certified or was carried out on an approved ski jump or with a validated measurement system. The Quadstick is a video game controller designed for people without limbs. It is compatible with all consoles and computers. This device includes a joystick for pressure sensors and a lip position sensor. It allows users to control video games through mouth movements. In China, there are plenty of electric cars and they are abandoned. It turns out that there is so much supply in the Asian giant that there are lands where thousands and thousands of electric cars are abandoned, rotting in the open air. The condition of the vehicles is so new that they even keep the plastics that cover their seats and screens. In addition, some are registered, so they are ready to be driven by anyone. This artist created this incredible sculpture of Spider-Man, played by Tobey Maguire in the year 2002, a true work of art. A car with an electric motor wins the Dakar for the first time in the car category. Meet the Audi RSQ e-tron, a car that is technologically different from the rest. Its great innovation is an electric propulsion system based on high-voltage batteries and an energy converter that uses a gasoline T-FSI engine with a joint power of approximately 386 horsepower. In Lake Titicaca in Peru, the Uros people live on floating islands that they build themselves using tatora, a type of reed that grows abundantly in the shallow waters of the lake. These islands must be continuously rebuilt due to the decomposition of the tatora at the bottom. Janja Garbrat and Domen Skafik made the longest artificial climbing route in the world on the Turbalja chimney in Slovenia, which has a height of 360 meters. This chimney is the tallest in Europe and was built in 1976. The gravity of the moon is responsible for the tides on Earth, causing the oceans to expand towards the moon and move away from it. In addition, the gravitational influence of the moon helps maintain the planet's climatic stability by moderating its wobble on its axis, which helps maintain a relatively constant climate for long periods. These are some curious sculptures in the Czech Republic that are called Srtovi hlavy or devil's heads in English. They measure 9 meters in height each, which is why they are considered the second largest carved heads in the world, after those of Mount Rushmore in the United States. They were sculpted in sandstone by the Czech artist Václav Levy between the years 1841 and 1846. Honey watermelons, also known as yellow or honey watermelons, have a yellow or orange pulp and a green skin with stripes. They are sweeter and less watery than traditional watermelons and have become popular for their unique and juicy flavor. In addition, they are grown in warm and sunny regions like the southern United States. The honey G, YouTube channel conducted an experiment in which they used a 444 horsepower Audi RS5 to see what would happen if a car drove over a track with banana peels, in the style of the Mario Kart video game. The result was that the vehicle moved slightly slower, but there was no significant slippage. German Shepherds are widely recognized as one of the best breeds for police work due to their intelligence, obedience, and trainability. They have a strong protective instinct and are known for their loyalty and determination, which makes them ideal for chasing and catching criminals. In contrast, Rottweilers are primarily bred for defense and tend to prioritize the safety of their owners, stopping to make sure their masters are safe. Meet the Spacewalk, an impressive sculptural staircase located in Wonho Park in Pohang, South Korea. Designed by artists Heike Mutter and Ulrich Genth, this structure looks like a roller coaster and offers spectacular views of the urban landscape and Yongle Bay. The spacewalk has a length of 333 meters and is made of galvanized steel and stainless steel. Visitors can walk almost the entire structure, except for the large loop in the center. The Bailong Elevator, also known as the 100 Dragons Elevator, is the tallest and fastest outdoor elevator in the world. It has a height of 335 meters and is located in the Zhangjiajie National Park in China. This elevator allows visitors to enjoy impressive views from the top of the cliff. The natural rock bridge known as the Burda Arch Bridge is an impressive natural rock arch located in the Wadi Rum Desert in Jordan. With a height of more than 80 meters, it is one of the tallest natural arches in the world and a popular challenge for climbers. Penguins talk when they hunt under the water. A group of researchers installed recording devices in the habitat of 3 different types of penguins to determine their way of communicating while swimming and discovered that they emit a noise similar to speech. These animals vocalize when they are on land to call their relatives and partners. However, the little ones had never been recorded or perceived singing under the water. Their vocalizations when they are submerged are short, and they emit them mainly when they manage to catch their food. The aeroplume is a personal airship with flapping wings that are used as oars to move through the air. It is located in France, specifically in the Equiville airship hangar in Normandy. The cost of the experience is approximately €60 per person. In 2017, several time-lapse videos were broadcast showing how thousands of Japanese people mobilized in an organized manner to attend the Summer Comiket, one of the most important comic fairs in Japan. It is truly impressive to see how the lines of people moved so orderly despite the large number of attendees. Ernest Trump holds the world record for the highest jump from a trampoline, 13 meters high. Flamingos have a unique anatomy compared to most birds. Contrary to what it seems, flamingos bend their legs at the ankle and not at the knees. This can give the impression that they are walking on their tiptoes. In reality, their knees are located much higher up, close to the body. This special anatomical adaptation allows them to stay balanced in shallow water while they feed. The Salinas de las Quimaraguas in Falcon, Venezuela, are known for their pink and turquoise waters, especially during sunset. This color is due to the presence of tannin, a substance that comes from some trees and mixes with the salt waters. In addition, it is a popular place for sports like kitesurfing and windsurfing due to its shallow waters and constant winds. Here you can see how the Earth breathes. This is the pulse between vegetation and ice over a period of 1 year. The first car air conditioners worked with water, which cooled the air as it evaporated. The cool air came out through specific ducts. This system was rudimentary compared to modern ones, but it was a significant advance in the climate control of vehicles. Turtles, both freshwater and marine, have scales on their shells and skin. These scales, known as scuts when they refer to the shell, can wear out and fall off as the turtles grow. This phenomenon is part of the natural growth and development of turtles. Coral reefs, especially the Great Barrier Reef near Australia, are visible from space due to their large size and the contrast they create in the ocean. Mingia holds the Guinness World Record for stacking the most wooden blocks on a single piece vertically. In total, there were 1,512. The Wybot S100 is an autonomous pool cleaning robot that can climb walls and clean multiple surfaces such as concrete and tile. It has a long-lasting battery and a simple cleaning process, allowing owners to enjoy their pool without worrying about maintenance. This is the largest bush in the world. It measures 18,000 square meters, is 400 years old, and at its highest part measures 16 meters. The Ebers Papyrus is one of the oldest and best-known medical treatises of ancient Egypt, dated around the year 1550 before Christ. This document contains 877 recipes to treat various diseases, including infections, headaches, and digestive problems, using a mixture of herbs and minerals. It is an early testimony to the human quest to alleviate diseases and is considered a precursor to modern pharmacology. The Kailasa Temple, located in the western region of Maharashtra, India, is an impressive example of rock-cut architecture. It was carved entirely from a single rock, without any joints. Its construction began between the years 756 and 773, during the reign of Krishna, one of the Rashtrakuta Empire. About 200,000 tons of stone were excavated to create this temple, and its construction took centuries to complete. Some species of snails, at birth, eat their own eggshells as their first act of life. This shell provides them with a large amount of calcium, essential for the development of their shells. Omphalophobia is a specific phobia that causes an irrational and disproportionate fear of navels, whether their own or those of other people. People who suffer from this phobia may experience intense anxiety and discomfort at the sight or idea of a navel. Ted Williams, known as the Golden Voice Homeless Man, became famous in 2011 thanks to a viral video that showed his impressive voice. Before his discovery, Williams lived on the streets of Columbus, Ohio, and dealt with alcoholism problems. After his appearance in the video, Williams received numerous job offers and became the voice behind commercials for large companies like Pepsi and Kraft Foods. The story of the Philadelphia experiment is an urban legend that emerged in the 1950s. According to this legend, in 1943, the United States Navy carried out a secret experiment on the USS Eldridge to make it invisible. But there is no scientific evidence to support the story. Despite the lack of evidence, it has inspired numerous conspiracy theories and works of fiction. The equator line crosses 14 countries, which makes it one of the most important geographical divisions on the planet. It marks the point where the Earth is divided into two equal hemispheres and is famous for its warm climate and the biodiversity it supports. This is Nikobo, an adorable companion robot created to cheer up the lives of people who don't have real pets. It was developed by the technology company Panasonic in collaboration with the Michio Oka Laboratory at Toyota Technological University. It is only available for Japan and no more than 320 units are manufactured. It has been described as a cat, although as you can see it looks more like a Pokemon. The Airbus Beluga is a large cargo transport aircraft known for its distinctive whale shape. It was designed by Airbus in 1995 and its manufacture involved the collaboration of several European companies. The fuselage of the plane resembles the beluga whale that lives in the Arctic seas. This plane is used to transport heavy loads with a capacity of up to 47 tons. Antarctica is not governed by any country. It is governed by the Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959, which defines the continent as a place dedicated to the freedom of scientific research for peaceful purposes and international harmony. This treaty prohibits military activities and promotes scientific cooperation and peace. Luknik built a stuffed animal vending machine with only Lego pieces. It is fully functional, even the claw is made of blocks. The famous musical piece The Flight of the Bumblebee by Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov is inspired by the ability of bumblebees to fly despite having relatively small wings compared to their body. This piece is known for its rapid succession of notes that simulate the buzzing of a bumblebee, capturing the essence of the flight of these insects. Broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts all come from the same species, Brassica oleracea. Through centuries of selective cultivation, farmers have highlighted different characteristics of the plant. For example, broccoli highlights the immature flowers, while cabbage focuses on the compact leaves. This amazing diversity shows how agriculture can shape a single species into multiple staple foods in human diets and rich in nutrients. Hyundai has developed a technology called e-corner that allows all the wheels of the vehicle to turn up to 90 degrees. This allows for easy side maneuvering or turning around in the same place, similar to how a crab moves. In addition, the e-corner system is electric, which means the vehicle has zero emissions. Astronaut Mark Kelly smuggled a full gorilla suit onto the International Space Station without anyone noticing. He put it on, and you can imagine the scare the rest of the crew got. A French graphic designer and photographer named Nicolas Samart has created a series of images that show how some of the most famous ships in the Star Wars universe would appear crashed in large cities around the world such as Paris, New York, Rio de Janeiro, London, and Moscow. These images combine reality with the fantasy of the Star Wars saga, creating surprising and fun scenes. The turns on roller coasters are not circular. Instead, they have an inverted teardrop shape. The reason is that if the turns were perfect circles, people on the ride would experience accelerations greater than 6 gs, which could cause them injury. Waves on Mars have photographed structures that resemble desiccation polygons, similar to those found in terrestrial deserts. These polygons typically form from the contraction and fracture of the soil as it dries, suggesting that Mars had liquid water on its surface at some point in its history. Fish eggs can hatch even after being eaten and excreted by ducks. This is due to the resistance of the fish eggs that can survive the digestive process of waterfowl. As a result, waterfowl can spread fish species in unexpected places, such as isolated bodies of water. It is a fascinating phenomenon that demonstrates nature's ability to adapt and survive in adverse conditions. Chess is the official sport of Armenia. The surprising thing is that in 2011, this country made chess a compulsory subject for all children over 6 years old, thus promoting strategic thinking and discipline from an early age. A superhabitable planet is a type of hypothetical exoplanet that could have more favorable conditions for life than Earth. In 2020, astronomers identified 24 potentially superhabitable exoplanets based on certain characteristics, although more detailed study is needed to confirm that they meet all the requirements. The most acidic lake in the world is called Kawah Ijen, and it is on the crater of a volcano on the island of Java, Indonesia. Its sulfurous gases are highly toxic and pestilent, so we could not contemplate this lake closely without suffering serious health effects. If we accidentally fell into its waters, our skin would burn in a few seconds, and it would only take between 12 and 48 hours for no trace of us to remain. In addition, the lake emits a blue glow at night due to the combustion of sulfur, which makes it an impressive natural phenomenon. The gondolas of Venice are traditional rowing boats used to transport passengers along the city's many canals. By law, they must be painted black, except for those that belong to high officials. The step into the void is an attraction in the French Alps, specifically at the Aiguille du Midi at a height of 3,842 meters above sea level. This glass platform offers an impressive and challenging view of the Alps, making visitors feel as if they are taking a step into the void. This is what our head looks like in an MRI when we sing. As you can see, our tongue is the great protagonist. It expands and contracts depending on the notes we sing. Roman Vutin is a Russian artist who is dedicated to carving Hogo nickels, an English term that is used to define modified or tricked coins. Vutin creates coins, buttons, and lighters with a trick, with an enormous technical complexity given their small size. In Scotland, the traditional garment that men wear is called a kilt. The kilt is a Scottish skirt that is worn at formal events, ceremonies, and special occasions. It is an iconic garment of Scottish culture and is usually made with plaid fabric known as tartan that identifies the user's clan or region. This is what the world's first flying car airport looks like. The project is named Air One and was built in the British city of Coventry by the company Urban Air Park, together with Hyundai Motor. Air One is designed with the infrastructure and technology necessary to adapt to flying vehicles, which began operating in the country in the year 2021. The station is positioned as a pioneer of the more than 200 electric vertical takeoff and landing ports expected to be built worldwide. Zero-emission drones will transport passengers and goods as part of what the company calls the next aero-ecological transport revolution. This rare object you see on screen is known as the Fukang Starstone, which is a piece of an asteroid that fell to Earth. It is named because it was discovered in the mountains near China in the year 2000. This beautiful meteorite is a palisite, a type of meteorite with translucent golden crystals of a mineral called olivine embedded in a silvery honeycomb of nickel and iron. This meteorite is so precious that it is worth 4 times the price of pure gold. In Perth, Australia, blue-banded bees, a native species called Amygilla cingulata, recognizable by their turquoise stripes, have been recorded. These bees do not produce honey, are solitary, and primarily pollinate blue flowers by buzzing. There is another blue bee known as Osmia calaminthae, rediscovered in Florida in 2020 after years without records. Although they share the color, they are not related and do not share a common habitat. The calamintha bee lives in a limited area and is considered extremely rare. This man turns car dust into authentic works of art. Curiously, they are made with the dirt accumulated on car windows. Possibly, we have all done it sometime, but never with the talent of Scott Wade, an American known as the Dust Da Vinci. Each work takes him between 40 minutes and 4 hours. He has even achieved international recognition and has presented in several countries. Recorded in time-lapse, these are ice spikes growing. Water always begins to freeze from the edge towards the center. And sometimes liquid water is expelled through a small hole in the center of the ice, pushed by the contraction of the frozen water around it. This spike can continue to increase in size as long as there is a hole, like a tiny volcano, through which the water escapes. The tattoo artist Luc Cormier, better known as Mr. Sticker, specializes in making tattoos that look like stickers. They are so incredibly realistic that it looks like you could easily peel them off your skin. Some fire trucks have independent steering on the rear wheels. This helps the truck move with more agility and makes it easier to maneuver around curves and in small areas. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe so you don't miss more interesting content. Leave your comments and click on any of these videos. See you next time.